merciful toward us. And man, I struggle with that one so much.
Well, we forget that when we're tested, it looks not very fun.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, and in this world,
Yes.
That's right. You can't accept it if, and Lord's Prayer says, forgive others as.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's right.
But in the whole, I don't agree with this lifestyle, I don't agree with this, and I don't agree with that. I have a saying: you can be biblically correct and spiritually wrong.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it.
And biblically, Jesus didn't beat down people with law.
Right. He was kind of rebelling against that whole.
Against that whole mantra. Now, did he agree with lifestyles? Look at the woman at the well. He says, "No, I know where you've been. You're not fooling me."
Right.
And without beating her up, said it's wrong.
Yep.
And the church has got to be like that. The church body has to be like that. You welcome everybody that walks in the door. There was a Facebook story about 4 or 5 years ago of a pastor that man came into his congregation that had been in his congregation before, but this time came cross-dressed. He called him out in front of the congregation and asked him to leave. And I'm going, wow.
What did you accomplish?
Yeah, number one, how many
you
churches,
push someone away,
how many
it's all you've
churches
done.
do you think that person's going to walk back into? But number two, evidently he had been there numerous other times without that happening. And I was thinking, how are you going to handle this as a pastor? When I'm in the back of the church greeting people, the person would have come through and I would have said, John, hey, we haven't had coffee for a while.
There.
Use it as a springboard to have a conversation.
Because something changed between last week or 2 weeks ago and this week.
Right.
So let's find out what went on.
Exactly.
Scripture says, why are you talking about the splinter in the other guy's eye when you've got a plank in yours?
Right. Exactly.
Well, minister story, true story over in Missouri. Pastor was preaching on marriage sexual infidelity, and hitting that scripture hard, all aspects of it. And this one lady just gave him a hard time about what he was preaching about. Well, he ended up leaving the church, came back for some church reunion thing, and that couple wasn't there. And come to find out, she'd been having an affair. She didn't like the fact that he was preaching on scripture that was stepping on her toes. And I told my congregation, I'm just going to be open with you. Scripture has already stepped on my toes before it's got to yours.
Exactly. That's well put. That is well put. Absolutely. So true. All the things to remember.
Yeah, forgiveness. I'm glad he's preaching that because it needs to be preached a lot.
Yes. It really does.
We live in a pretty judgmental world, and they don't care if it was 20 years ago and you've become a Christian and you've got a family and nobody cares.
Yes, that's right. This is true. Fellas, always fun.
Absolutely,
right.
sir.
Appreciate it.
Not to keep inserting my thoughts, but I personally feel not having the burden of having to judge is one of the most freedom.
Right.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
Great point.
Yes.
Absolutely. It is.
When you give up that burden, it's like I don't have to worry about other people.
It helps your soul.
Yeah.
I sent a message to him that we were holding off because of rain.
Okay. When we get an audio test, we can run commercials and stuff and collect the viewers.
Yeah, we may. Well, I'm already on collecting
Yep.
viewers.
I'm but we'll audio,
But-
commercial.
But yeah, I just don't see because we don't want all that equipment.
Audio check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think I forgot something.
Audio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Audio test. Getting ready for harness racing at the Coles County Fair. Audio check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to be a big evening of racing. We're going to be playing Pick a Winner in the grandstand. And hopefully, the small cell of showers and storms that are on the radar looks like a lot of that is hooking north and east. Maybe in about 20 minutes, there could be a brief shower according to the radar, but hopefully we will avoid the bulk of it because we have a great program of harness racing lined up and ready to go here this evening. 10 races. In fact, harness racing at the Coles County Fair, a long-standing tradition. Of course, this is the 172nd annual Coles County Fair. This is a fair that dates back to 1854 and is billed as the oldest continuous county fair in Illinois. You are walking on ground here that some of our most famous Americans have walked on, including no less than Abraham Lincoln. He and Stephen Douglas, as most of you are well aware from here in Coles County, one of the Lincoln-Douglas debates back in 1858 took place at the Coles County Fair, which at that time was held in September. It was on Saturday, September 18, 1858. There are some fascinating articles available online from newspapers in this part of the state where they covered the event. Lincoln arrived downtown Charleston, was met with a group of enthusiastic supporters. Everybody had lunch. And then Lincoln and Douglas, Stephen Douglas, along with his supporters, they all made the journey here to the fairgrounds. And that was one of, 7, I believe, debates between Lincoln and Douglas that took place across the great state of Illinois back in 1858. And again, one of them took place on these very grounds during the Coles County Fair. So this is a fair at a fairgrounds that is steeped in history and tradition. Right now, we are 11 minutes from our scheduled first post this evening. Pick a Winner players, you're in for a treat because our friends at Sturdy Built Buildings, they are the grandstand sponsor for Pick a Winner tonight, and because of their generosity, we are going to play Pick a Winner for $50 after each and every race, and then at the end of the program, there will be a $100 drawing. And again, that's thanks to our friends at Sturdy Built Buildings. You can visit them online at sturdy-builtbuildings.com. $50 per race and $100 at the end of the evening. And this is the kickoff event of 3 harness racing programs as the week unfolds. We will go racing again on Wednesday evening at 5:30, the annual Illini Stakes, the races that formerly were known as the Abe Lincoln. And then on Friday, we change gears and we have a 12:30 p.m. post time. But we will have Pick a Winner at each of those programs, and it should be a lot of fun. So with that said, Pick a Winner players, here are the early changes for the program, and again, you will find a Pick a Winner entry form in your program. If you do not have a track program, they are on sale. East end of the grandstand, the turn 1 end of the grandstand, so if you need a program, to swing by and say hello to our staff there, and they'll be happy to sell you a track program. In the first race this evening, the driver of the 4 Lou's Lottery is Jordan Patton. That's in the first race, number 4 Lou's Lottery, Jordan Patton. No changes in race 2 and no changes in race 3. In the fourth race, scratch number 1, Lou's Avalon. Scratch number 2, Lose My Number. Scratch the 6, Lou Beduino. And scratch the 7, Frontier Maynard. Again, that's in the fourth race. Scratch the 1, Lose Avalon. Scratch the 2, Lose My Number. Scratch the 6, Lou Beduino. And scratch the 7, Frontier Maynard. Reason given, personal, for each of those scratches. In race 5, driver change on the 3 Major Pete, and that'll be Freddie Patton Jr. Race 5, the driver will be Freddie Patton Jr. for number 3 Major Pete. No driver listed at time of entry 3 days ago, so technically that's not a change. We are just updating everyone that trainer Denarius Dortch has called on Freddie Patton Jr. to drive number 3 Major Pete. 6th race. Driver change on the 1 Rock of Angels, Freddie Patton Jr. That's race 6. The driver of number 1, Rock of Angels, has been changed. It'll be Freddie Patton Jr. Race 7. Driver change on the 5, Skunk Alicious. Clark Fairley, your driver. That's race 7. The driver of the 5, Skunk Alicious, that will be Clark Fairley. There's also an ownership change. Larry Binkley is now both the owner and trainer of number 5, Skunk Alicious, and of course, Larry is based here in Charleston. Race 8, scratch the 2, Premier Juliet. That's race 8, scratch the 2, Premier Juliet, reason personal. 9th race, the driver of the 4, RK's Daddy Wags, that will be Wyatt Avenatti. That's the 9th race, number 4, RK's Daddy Wags, the driver Wyatt Avenatti. And a driver change on the 5, Trapper, that will be Jared Finn. Number 5, Trapper, the driver Jared Finn in that 9th race. 10th and final race, scratch the 1, 4 Paws. That's the 10th and final race, scratch the 1, 4 Paws, reason given by the trainer listed as personal. What's your first field, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Horsemen, you may come to the track with our first race, the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old trot. We start with a bang, folks, right off the bat. Our biggest purse of the program, $4,840 in the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old trot. This race restricted to Illinois conceived and foaled horses. We need Do Better Des, Chicken Lights and Chrome, No Flies on Me, Lose Lottery, Class Comedian. All 5 of these trotters have already been winners in 2026. So we start off with a nice big purse and a competitive field. Charleston Elks Lodge, number 623, is your blanket sponsor for this first of our 10 races. Our pre-race ceremony is coming up in just a moment. Would you like your anthem, Judge?
Pardon me?
Would you like your national anthem?
Whenever you're ready for it, Kurt.
Very good.
You playing it?
Yes.
Hey.
All is well. How about you?
All right.
Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the 172nd edition of the Coles County Fair. Great to have you with us. Fair is already underway, of course. Already have had some activities over the weekend, and now we're set to kick off the first of 3 harness racing cards here tonight. The Coles County Fair being stop number 17 on the year of the 28 that make up the statewide county fair circuit for harness racing. Great to have everybody with us here this evening in the stands. Again, it should be a fun night. Hopefully the rain will stay away. A number of horses on the track. Right now, we ask you would please rise as you are able for our national anthem. Have you with us on a Monday evening here at the Coles County Fair, and in fact, we're ready to go. The presiding judge, he has checked in with the ambulance and crew. They're all set. He's checked in with our starter, Stacy DeRoos. He's all set. That means we're ready. No post parades tonight. In the interest of moving this program along 10 races, we want to stay ahead of the weather. We want to stay ahead of I guess you would say nightfall, darkness, whenever the sun continues to drop further across that western horizon. So we are going to go straight to the gate. No post parades here this evening. Race 1, starters are out. Pick a winner, players, get ready. Race 1 is at the gate, and the gate's rolling. Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old trot, Charleston Elks Lodge, the presenting sponsor for this race. 1, Do Better Des, owned by Marcus and Jason and Lester Detweiler. Sullivan, trained by Marcus, driven by Jason Detweiler. 2, Chicken Lights and Chrome, owned and trained by Connor Prather, Springfield. Cole Prather is up. 3, No Flies on Me, owned and trained by Jamaica Patton of Rochester, D&J Racing Stables of Terry, Mississippi. The driver, Mike Cox. 4, Lose Lottery, races for Flacco Family Farms, trainer Jill Brown, driver Jordan Patton. Here they come. The track is hot. Number 5, Class Comedian, owned and trained by Jacob Radel of Edgewood. Freddie Patton Jr. in the bike, and we are underway with harness racing at the 172nd Coles County Fair. Great to have you with us. Into the first turn. There goes No Flies on Me right out for that early lead. No Flies on Me, a nifty move from between horses, and slides down to the inside lane as they enter the backstretch and race toward the quarter-mile mark. Do Better Des had an awkward move around the first turn and broke stride and drops out to last. In the meantime, they're at the quarter. No Flies on Me leads it by a length. Lose Lottery goes second by a length. Class Comedian third by 3 lengths. Chicken Lights and Chrome is fourth, and then a gap of 8 more lengths back to Do Better Des. 29 seconds, a fast opening quarter. What a way to get started. That is a quick pace for these 3-year-old trotting fillies. 29 seconds. We'll see if Mike Cox backs off the throttle just a little bit and kind of rates this filly who's leading here. She's full of trot and she wants to go on. No Flies on Me is your leader by just over 1 length. Halfway home in the Charleston Elks Lodge race, you've got Lose Lottery second, Class Comedian third. Chicken Lights and Chrome has caught up to the top 3, so the front 4 now go nose to tail, and then there's still a gap of 7 more lengths off a half in a minute 4/5, a gap of 7 more lengths back to Do Better Des, and again a minute 4/5 for that first half mile. Again, a few cells of storms and showers moving through the area, but the radar shows at this point most of it staying north and east as it continues to swirl about central and eastern Illinois. Oh, Chicken Lights and Chrome broke stride. Chicken Lights and Chrome is now last. In the meantime, No Flies on Me is your leader, chased all the way by Lose Lottery second, gap of 3 lengths to Class Comedian in third as they move on to the final turn. 3/4, 1:31 was the time. 1 minute 31 seconds flat. No Flies on Me is the leader by a length to the top of the stretch as Lose Lottery tries to move up on the outside a closer second, but is still a length off the lead. Now here comes Lose Lottery for trainer Jill Brown and driver Jordan Patton, trying to get by No Flies on Me, but No Flies on Me is a stubborn foe, and No Flies on Me fights off the challenge and with a game effort wins it by a length on the line. Lose Lottery was second, then a gap of 3.5 more lengths back to Class Comedian third, a gap of 4 more back of that one Do Better Des fourth, and another 8 lengths back of that one to Chicken Lights and Chrome last. Time for the mile, 2:03 flat. Time for the mile, 2:03 flat. We'll recap it for you in a moment. We will introduce the winner. We'll have the Charleston Elks Lodge blanket presentation. And pretty soon we'll be playing Pick a Winner, so sit tight. The first $50 of the night, again, courtesy of our friends at Sturdy Built Buildings. That is going to spice up the old Pick a Winner competition. We'll talk more about that in just a moment.
Well, David, a good race to start with here in this card here at Charleston. We're glad we've been talking with people and trying to make some decisions here as far as weather's concerned. We decided not to put the camera car in today because once we get it out there and it starts raining, that's got a lot of exposure out there for wetness, David, and it's wet enough with you.
Again, horsemen, you may come to the track for race 2. Second race, the 3-year-old filly Pace. Come to the track, please. San Antonio Storm, Fox Valley Barbie, Arcase Party, Super Sage, Illini Deceptive.
11 minutes, it says.
Yeah, we just heard some sprinkles hit the tent here, so we decided not to go with anything crazy today. We started scaling back what we had set up over here, make sure we got stuff in the car in case we had a downpour. We could get things, all of our equipment covered up or put away or something.
And Lisa got 70 points on that as the picks. You got 50 and Brady got 50. I got a mere 10 for boxing somebody. But Lisa's had the same horse in the third spot on that one, so I don't know what the deal was with her. But that's all right. We're not going to try to change it.
Our thanks to Charleston Elk Lodge, number 623. You can visit them on Facebook or visit them in person on 6th Street. They've got those NASCAR Sundays. They've got those Queen of Hearts drawings each Wednesday. A lot of good things happening in an organization that does a lot of good for the community. And they're blanket, which is now being brought trackside, about to be presented to our winner of the first race. How about a hand for this filly? No flies on me.
Positions that horse was in for the box and the win.
And she almost nods her head in acknowledgement of the applause from the crowd. Here comes the blanket. No flies on me is owned by Jamaica Patton of Rochester. He's the trainer.
50 plus 10.
D&J Racing Stables of Terry, Mississippi. That is the racing name of Duncan and Jacqueline McLean. The winning filly, trained by Jamaica Patton, driven by Mike Cox, a native of Hamilton, Missouri, who makes his home in Sherman, Illinois. The breeders, Mary Lee Jeffers, the late Mary Lee Jeffers, and her daughter, Adele Jeffers Everett. That is win number 11 for this fine trotting filly. Good job, girl. Well done. 2:03 flat. Here's the full field rundown for the first race. It is official. Do Better Des finished 4. Chicken Lights and Chrome was 5. No Flies on Me, the winner. Lose Lottery, the runner-up. Class Comedian was 3rd. They got the quarter, 29 flat. They got the half in a minute, 4/5. 3/4 and 1:31. And the time for the mile, 2:03 flat. It reads down 4:51.23. Second race is on the way. This reminder, as usual, the Coles County Fair will be presenting $250 on Friday.
Real craftsmanship still exists at Yoder's Custom Woodworking and Amish Furniture. From custom kitchens and built-ins to handcrafted furniture, outdoor poly, and more. Family owned and trusted since 1995. Visit Yoder's and Sullivan or call 217-728-2166 today.
Avenatti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenatti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avenattiracing@gmail.com today. Avenatti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Kerr Auction is your trusted source for ag equipment, attachments, construction gear, trucks, trailers, and hard-to-find parts. With live and online auctions at kerrauction.com, you can bid from anywhere, field, job site, or front porch. From big equipment to small parts. If you need it, Kerr Auction has it. Don't miss your next deal. Check out kerrauction.com today. Kerr Auction, built for the working world.
Why pay more for the same groceries? Your favorite brands at prices you'll love. Right here in Mattoon. Family owned and proud to serve our community. Proud supporters of local harness racing and the Coles County Fair. Stop in and save today. B&D Grocery in Mattoon.
Experience matters. At Simmons Stable, Illinois Hall of Fame trainer Tom Simmons, along with wife Benita, has built a legacy of developing and racing championship standardbreds. From yearling to winner's circle, every horse is guided with experience, expertise, and care. Simmons Stable, 217-801-4246.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Horses are on the track and will be headed to the gate shortly. In fact, they're gathering up over on the backstretch right now. Race 2, the Mattoon printing blanket here. A purse of $2,700 for these Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old filly Pacers. There are no changes in race 2. Let's go ahead and meet the starters as they get ready to line up behind the gate over at the quarter pole at the end of the backstretch. San Antonio Storm is owned by George Pollack of Rushville, trained by Cole Prather, driver Connor Prather. 2, Fox Valley Barbie, owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur. Bart Seals of Mason, Penny White of Altamont, trained by Kevin Miller. Wyatt Avenatti is up. 3 is Arcase Party, owned by the MM&D Racing from right here in Charleston. That is Mitch and Mike Titus and Dennis Wright, the trainer Marcus Detweiler, the driver J.D. Finn. 4 is Super Sage, owned by Nan Turner of Argenta, the trainer John Fletcher, the driver Freddie Patton Jr. And 5 is Illini Deceptive, owned, trained, and driven by our superintendent of speed, and that is Mr. Clark Fairley, who makes his home in nearby Lerna. Want to say thanks to our various Pickle Winter sponsors. Sturdy Built Buildings, of course, leads the way with that $50 after each race. And again, coming up, a $100 draw at the end of the night. Heard Wyatt mention DeRoos starting gates. Of course, Stacy DeRoos, a member of the Coles County Fair Board of Directors and also our official starter for the races here this evening and throughout the course of the week. We thank our sponsors one and all, including Mattoon Printing. They date back to the early 1960s, current ownership for better than 4 decades. They are a faithful sponsor of racing here at the Coles County Fair. Race 2 coming right up.
David, a chance to talk real quick. Looks like everybody but you picked the 2 horse to win this race. You picked the 1. You picked the 2 to finish in second place, and then the 5. So kind
at
of
the post gate is rolling. Horsemen be ready at the barns, please. With that
variation thereof.
3rd race. Super Sage, by the way, program says line to be announced. That filly was 3rd at Farmer City last Friday evening. Paced a mile in 2:04. Here they come. Illinois-bred 3-year-old pacing fillies in the Mattoon printing race underway. Speed battle right off the bat. San Antonio Storm going at it with Fox Valley Barbie as they head down into the first turn. Arcase Party comes away racing in the 3rd position as they swing off the turn and head up the backstretch toward the quarter-mile mark. Super Sage is racing in the 4th position. Illini Deceptive gets away 5th and last, but is right there with the rest as they line up single file along the inside lane of the racetrack and head past the quarter-mile mark. It is San Antonio Storm who leads it by 2 lengths. Fox Valley Barbie is second by a length and a half to Arcase Party in third. 29-3, that was the time for the opening quarter mile. 29 3/5 seconds. Then you've got Super Sage in fourth and Illini Deceptive who is moving from the back. Now Clark's going to make his move right now with that filly. She goes from 5th into 4th. She's been racing well this summer. She's won 2 of her last 3. She's got 4 wins total on the year, and she is, as usual, going to come from off the pace. That's how she likes to race. So all is well. She is right where she likes to be at this point in the mile. But San Antonio Storm is the leader. 101-1 for the first half mile. 101-1. Fox Valley Barbie is in second position. Super Sage stacks up third outside of Arcase Party, and then Illini Deceptive as they go off the turn and up the backstretch for the final time here in race number 2 to see who will win the Mattoon printing blanket. Illini Deceptive has now gone from 5th to 4th to 3rd to 2nd. Clark Fairley trying to move that filly into contention, but they've all got to catch San Antonio Storm, who leads by a length as they hit the final turn. Illini Deceptives on the outside in second. 132-1 at the 3/4. 132-1. Fox Valley Barbie can't find any room. Now here she comes. The leader broke stride. San Antonio Storm made a break. Into the stretch they come. The leader is Illini Deceptive, but Clark Fairley's got his hands full, folks. Philly's bearing down to the left and to the right. Illini Deceptive trying to hang tough. Super Sage. Fox Valley Barbie inside. Here's the wire. Clark wins race 2 here at home with Illini Deceptive, and that was a hard-fought battle. Illini Deceptive turns back a good field and has to lay it all on the line down the stretch in order to get the win, but Illini Deceptive wins here in the Mattoon Printing race.
2:02.
Time for the mile, 2:02 flat. That equals her career best, Illini Deceptive. 2:02 flat, the time for the mile. By the way, belated congratulations to our newly crowned Miss Coles County, Chloe Hettinger, our junior miss, Lyndon Traub, and our little miss, Avriana Reyes. Congratulations, ladies, and it's great to have all of you with us tonight.
Exciting finish, David, again to that race as the 5-horse. Well, Clark Fairley's horse comes from the back of the field.
Illini Deceptive. How about it, huh?
Yeah, and that horse, I was having a tough time deciding what I was going to go, and I went with Fox Valley Barbie because she braced good the other day when we were out in Lewistown, and so, you know, again, you can never tell what's going to happen. Again, San Antonio Storm ended up breaking stride, had led most of that race.
Kind of surprised us all, I think, there. I see rain coming down, don't I?
Yes, and I hear it.
I sure do.
Just watch your table there, see if you get any
I
sprinkles
got my
there.
eye on the corner of the table. But, yeah, Illini Deceptive gets a big win here, coming back to the winner's circle now. But San Antonio Storm messed up, I think, everyone's trifecta. We will we'll deal with the points.
He is a former multi-sport athlete at Mattoon High School, he being Clark Fairley. He was a member of the Green Wave. And if memory serves, he was on the track and field team. I believe he ran cross country, Ron. Does that sound right? Yeah. And he has been our speed superintendent for 25 years. We looked it up today, 2001, the first year. And you know, we talked about this fairgrounds. Abe Lincoln walked these grounds. And the late Harry Reid of Eastern Illinois University once remarked that Clark Fairley reminded him somewhat of Abraham Lincoln. Got similar features, tall, slender, and he does a great job as a leader. Folks, how about a hand for Mr. Clark Fairley? And horsemen, please come to the track with that third race. We would like you to please come to the track for race 3. Here comes the Mattoon Printing blanket. Clark is the owner, trainer, driver of this Captain Trevor filly out of Ty's Artist by Real Artist. This winning filly was bred and raised at the University of Illinois Horse Farm, hence her name, Illini Deceptive. So she comes here to Panther Country and wins race 2 here this evening. Mattoon Printing, if you like stability in a business, that one dates all the way back to the early 1960s with same ownership for better than 4 decades now. And we appreciate their support of racing at the fair. By the way, this filly is back in to go here Wednesday in the Illini 3-year-old filly pace for a purse of $4,700. So this could be the start of a big week for that filly if all goes well. Congratulations, Clark Fairley with Illini Deceptive. It has been a busy last few days for Clark and family because daughter Haley was just wed a few days ago, so belated congratulations all the way around. Well, here's the full field rundown. It is official for that second race. San Antonio Storm finished 5. Fox Valley Barbie was the runner-up. RK's Party finished 4. Super Sage was 3rd. And Illini Deceptive, your winner. The quarter 29-3, the half 101 1/5, 3/4 132 1/5, and the time for the mile 2:02 flat. Reads down 5:24.31. Third race is on the way. The ISA 3-year-old colt and gelding pace including the fastest harness horse in the history of the ISA. Number 4, Incredible Stevie, who, by the way, is coming off a win last Friday night at Farmer City, 201-2. But a couple of weeks ago, he blistered the Menard County Fair Oval in the all-time ISA record, 155-2. Time now, though, to go back to Wyatt Austin. Let's play Pick a Winner.
All right, David, let's go to our talk points for the day as we racing. Big 2 weeks here. Final just out of the basically
Things
shotgun splash.
Get crazy.
And so we'll have racing for you tomorrow in Urbana. We'll slide up to Urbana tomorrow, slide back down here to be Charleston on Wednesday. Lisa and I will be back with you on Friday, trying to save some time for David, guys.
Yeah, David ran out of vacation leave, so Lisa and Steve are going to be holding down the Fort Friday solo.
Again, guys, you don't know the effort that's put in here to bring what we do to you. That David gives up his vacation time, and I ask how many of you would give up here, have something that you would dedicate your vacation time to. So I applaud David for being so committed that this is his part of harness racing and making sure harness racing stays alive. So
people appreciate it so much that it's hard to tell them no, right? You want to just keep adding more and more places.
Yep, and then we'll be to Lincoln on Sunday, Altamont 3 days next week, and Marshall on Wednesday along with Altamont. So, and then Brown County Fair on Saturday and Sunday. And folks, you want to make sure particularly you get out to Sunday. If you're only going to be there one day, going to be there Sunday, over $80,000 worth of prize money.
Downstate Classic for 2-year-olds. Yep. Last tune-up before State Fair, yep.
All right, so that's what's going on there. We want to thank our donors. We got new donors on the list, guys. You don't have a business, but you watch all the time. This is your source for harness racing. We'd appreciate it if you could donate to help us be on the road. Like all this week, we're at a B&B down here. We're not spinning. I tell you what, folks, we don't splurge on this. My lunch today was a ham sandwich.
That's about how it goes, right?
Followed up for dessert with a muffin, okay? and so we try to stay in B&Bs. We try to keep things simple, low cost, so that we can bring more broadcasting to you. Hopefully we've got most of the equipment bought, paid for, and done that we're going to need. But it's travel cost, and again, David's vacation time coming in there. So if you're not a business, but you want to donate, you can do that. And you can choose not to have your name on that list.
You know, one of our new sponsors that just came aboard this last week was for a memorial for a horseman that passed away recently. So if you don't have a business, but you have a horseman that means a lot, it's near and dear to your heart, we can do a memorial for you too, something like that. It doesn't have to just be advertisement. It could just be a way to kind of just tell old stories and think about old faces.
Absolutely. So if you've got somebody that raced before and want to make a memorial, we can do that for you. Get in contact with David about doing that. But our website, you can find out how to contact us on the website. All kinds of great stuff there. And would love for you to come out there, comment about that. You can see the belt, the championship driver belt that's going to be given away at Brown County.
I did bring it. It's in the car, so we can get it on camera hopefully Wednesday, tomorrow sometime.
Tomorrow, because we'll be right together there with Lisa. Yep. There. Pray for cool weather for us. Pray that we don't get rained out here. As it, the good thing is it's coming straight.
Loose.
It's coming straight down, which is good for us that our equipment is not getting wet.
I'm starting to kind of catch it.
Oh, off the edge of the building there. Yeah. Oh, your box lid. Yeah. So, yeah, we're trying to catch. Not getting things wet here as far as that's concerned. As the water comes down and we check, everything's fine under there. But yeah, I think this is a first, David, for us to have rain while we're broadcasting. Have we had it before?
On the air, I don't think so. We've had storms blow in as we were setting up, at Rushville that one year when we were up in the judges' stand. But we are live between races, and Clark got rained on in his home county fair winter circle.
Yeah, there was a bolt of lightning. I saw a flash someplace. But luckily the fans are under the stands, and they're fanning themselves over there. They need some
I
of
thought
those
I heard
Giroux.
Kurt say something about ready to go. Yep, horses are out.
Yep,
if we're going with
horses
it.
are out. We'll get back to that and back to our other stuff
I'm
a
getting
little bit
rained on
later.
over here now.
Okay, we need to slide the table over.
I'm just going to kind of cover.
I'll get things slid over so we can. I got a leak above me someplace.
Right. It's dripping off this cross beam.
Okay, as long as it's not on the equipment. You need slid over?
I can't hear.
$600. Number 1 is Conager, owned by Jim Walden of Lincoln, trained by Cole Prather, the driver Connor Prather. 2, Smokin' Them Some Stars, owned by Kevin and Daryl Miller of Arthur, trained by Kevin Miller. The driver is Wyatt Avenetti. 3 is Drill Baby Drill, owned by Kenneth Schrock of Arthur, Lester Datweiler of Sullivan, Dave Schrock of Humboldt, trained and driven by Marcus Datweiler. And number 4, the fastest of the fast, Incredible Stevie, owned and trained by the auctioneer, Larry Plank, whom you can hear at auction houses in Sullivan, Illinois, and Rockville, Indiana. The driver, Freddie Patton Jr., and again, Incredible Stevie comes in off a win last Friday night at the Farmer City DeWitt County Fair. Top of the stretch, 55% goes to the winner, a 4-horse race. 25% for second, 12% for third, 8% to the fourth place finisher. Here they come. Off and pacing we go in the Prairie State Bank and Trust race, and there goes Incredible Stevie, Freddie Patton Jr., wasting no time, and he gets on the loud pedal, as they say, and he is moving fast with Incredible Stevie. He wanted to clear all of that inside traffic, and he does so around the first turn. Smokin' Them Some Stars did get away in good position, and now will draft right in behind Incredible Stevie as these 4 pacers go single file. Conager is third, and Drill Baby Drill last of the 4 as they scoot on by the quarter and head up toward the west end of the track. Incredible Stevie is your leader. 28 flat for the opening quarter, 28 seconds flat, and he made it look easy. Incredible Stevie is the leader and still leads by 2 lengths. However, Smokin' Them Some Stars is a horse that already has won 6 times this year. Conager is a 10-time winner this year, and Drill Baby Drill has been a winner this year. So by no means are we conceding the race to Incredible Stevie, but he is the favorite based on his recent form. Incredible Stevie goes on by the half and leads it by a length and a half. 58 seconds flat for the first half mile. So after a 28-second opening quarter, Freddie Patton Jr. wisely let off the accelerator pedal, still kept an honest pace, but gave that leader a 30-second second quarter, and now will pick up the tempo soon as they head up the backstretch, because Freddie knows he's looking over his shoulder. He knows the challenges are soon to come. Incredible Stevie is your leader. There's a quarter mile to go. Leads it by a length and a half. Smokin' Them Some Stars, second a length. Conager, third a length. And Drill Baby Drill is last. 1:27. The time at the 3/4, 1 minute, 27 seconds around the final turn to the top of the stretch. Here comes Conager. Conager's the first to move, and he's coming after the leader, but Incredible Stevie leads it by a length and a half. Conager is out on the grandstand side. He's moving fast, and here comes Smokin' Them Some Stars, looking for some room to the inside, but Conager, what a move off the final turn, and that's the move that's going to pay off with a win. Conager took it by a length. Conager by a length on the line for Connor Prather. What a heads-up move. It takes some courage to come after the leader when the leader is a really fast horse and is the favorite in the race. Connor Prather, no fear. Time for the mile, 1 minute, 57 seconds flat. A 1:57 mile in the rain here at the Coles County Fair. Nice mile by Conager, who pounces coming down the stretch and picks up career win number 11. We'll meet the winner in a moment. Horseman, you may come to the track with race 4. By the way, the 3-year-old Colt and Gelding pace track record is 1:56, NJ's Big Deal. So not a track record mile, but certainly a fast mile. And we told you this racetrack can take a lot of rain, and despite some rainfall that really picked up right before the race began, this racetrack was just fine. Nice job by our track conditioning crew. Again, the mile, 1:57 flat. We'll meet the winner in a moment.
28.
Okay, David, another good race there. And I'm looking at the points here. Lisa got, well, there's Brady Schrock coming in with trifecta there. Lisa got 45, and both of us got 32.
Pick a winner, players. A reminder, upcoming.
So waiting for the winner to come to the winner's circle. He's talking about how many scratches we've got coming up here in the 4th race. We may have to do some adjustments on our picks.
That's what I was thinking.
So, but rain has kind of settled down just a little bit. You're not getting the blowing over there. We got a little leak, maybe somewhere in the middle of our tent. Don't know where.
Must be blowing in that vent and dripping down the.
Yeah. But cool down there for a second, but I got a feeling it's going to get humid again here after the rain stops, David.
No, probably.
Here we go.
Fulton County Fair. And now tonight, Connor Prather was very patient, sat in the 3rd position for the first 7/8 of a mile, and then coming off that far turn, steered this horse to the far outside, coming down the stretch, found the footing very much to his liking.
Not watching.
And wins in 157. Prairie State Bank and Trust, since 1988, a family-owned community bank, and we appreciate their support of harness racing at the Coles County Fair. Jim Walden of Lincoln is your winning owner. Cole Prather, the trainer. Connor Prather, the winning driver. Winning pacer, a graduate of the Illini Classic sale for $11,000, bred by Diana Wilson, whose farm is based in Martinsville. Here's the full field rundown for that 3rd race, then we'll play Pick a Winner. In that 3rd event, Coniger was the winner. Smokin' Them Some Stars was 3rd. Drill Baby Drill was 4th. Incredible Stevie, the runner-up. 28 seconds for the quarter. 58 seconds for the half. 3 quarters, 127 flat, and the time for the mile, 157 flat. Reads down, 1-3-4-2. Time now to go back to Wyatt Austin to play Pick a Winner.
Long before the crowds arrive, the work is already underway. Track after track. Kevin Miller Stable campaigns winning standardbreds across the Midwest. Kev Miller Stable, 217-254-0170.
For over 40 years, horses have been our way of life. Built on experience, patience, and care. From sale preparation to rehabilitation, we are committed to helping horses reach their potential. Brenneman Equine, a tradition of horsemanship. Call Lamar or Ronnie today.
Real craftsmanship still exists at Yoder's Custom Woodworking and Amish Furniture. From custom kitchens and built-ins to handcrafted furniture, outdoor poly, and more. Family owned and trusted since 1995. Visit Yoder's in Sullivan or call 217-728-2166 today.
Stacy DeRoos and also Mark Walker of the Illinois Standardbred Association. Great to have everyone with us here tonight. Harness Tube is providing the live stream. And once again, glad to have them back with us, as they have been the last couple of years here at the Coles County Fair. David Brink, Steve Surratt positioned under the tent immediately east of the infield judges stand, and the camera technician is Lisa Surratt. They make their home, all three, in Brown County up at Mount Sterling. HarnessTube.com. This evening's fourth race for a purse of just over $1,700, the Open Trot. It's also the Rita Sear Memorial. Scratch the 1, lose Avalon. Scratch the 2, lose my number. Also scratch the 6, Lou Beduino. And scratch the 7, Frontier Maynard. In each case, the reason given by the trainer listed as personal. Jared Finn will be your driver for the 5, Tank Me to Dennyland. Let's meet the starters. Number 3, the fastest hardest horse ever on the trot. At this fair, the fastest trotter in Illinois County Fair history, Goomster. Owned and trained by Dennis Gardner of West Salem, that former Horse of the Year, Goomster, is driven by J.D. Finn. Number 4, Dooleyville Lou, is owned by Randall Dooley of Hidalgo, trained by Harold Finn, driven by Harold Finn Jr., a 6-time winner, Dooleyville Lou. And the $100,000 winner, number 5, Tank Me to Dennyland, owned and trained by Dennis Gardner of West Salem, but contrary to the program, the driver, Jared Finn. Yeah, a few years ago, Goomster won in the Abe Lincoln Trot in 1:58.1. At the time, that was the fastest Illinois County Fair trotting mile ever, and then he broke his own record earlier this year, 1:58 flat, at the Martinsville Agricultural Fair. Here they come, race 4. Off and trotting they go, and the 2 stablemates come out to contest the lead. There goes Tank Me to Dennyland from the outside, Goomster from the inside, J.D. Finn and Goomster with the lead, and J.D.'s son Jared Finn with Tank Me to Dennyland in second as they move around that first turn, and Dooleyville Lou will travel in third as they head off the first turn and work their way up the back stretch. This pair of trotters that goes 1-2, they have been quite a pair for owner-trainer Dennis Gardner as they have put together career earnings of just over $450,000 combined. So 2 trotters showing the way. 29 seconds for that opening quarter, by the way, 29 flat. The leader has won right at $350,000, and the horse that trots along in the second position has won just over $100,000. They have been a dynamite combination over the last several years. And Dooleyville Lou is a horse who has given a fine account of himself as well. 17 times first or second, 26 times in the top 3 in his career. Past the half-mile mark, it is Goomster who shows the way in the Rita Sear Memorial. 59-2 for the first half mile, 59-2. Goomster leads by a length. Tank Me to Dennyland goes second, and Dooleyville Lou is still back in that third position as they head off the lower turn after 5/8 of a mile and straighten away for the 3/4 mile mark up the back stretch. Goomster trots along, leading it by a length. Tank Me to Dennyland is still right behind him, and Dooleyville Lou hangs tough in third. He has kept the other 2 within range. Even though he's third, he's about 4 lengths off the lead as they go to the final turn off 3/4 and 1:30. 1 minute, 30 seconds flat. 3 trotters, 3 members of the Finn family in the race bikes here as they turn for home. Now Tank Me to Dennyland takes a look to the outside of his stablemate Goomster, but Goomster's got his measure here, and Goomster has the lead by 2, by 3 lengths. Goomster just puts away his buddy in the stretch, and Goomster is going to win for the 33rd time in his career. Goomster for J.D. Finn won it by 4 lengths. It was Tank Me to Dennyland second for Jared Finn, and then it was Harold Finn Jr. across the wire third with Dooleyville Lou. We'll check the final time in just a moment.
2 minutes, 4/5.
Time for the mile, 2 minutes and 4/5. 2 minutes and 4/5 of a second for your winner, number 3, Goomster. We'll meet the winner. We'll have the Rita Sear Memorial blanket presentation. In the meantime, horsemen, you may come to the track with race 5. Race 5, come to the track, please.
Well, David, I've been trying to monitor the sound. If people can let me know on the sound, it sounded like Kurt's over-modulating just a little bit.
I haven't got any texts or messages. Have you got anything?
Remember Rita
nope,
Sear
other than my wife.
Evening with this open trot. Rita passed away in March of 2017. She was a member of the St. Mary of the Assumption Church the Neoga American Legion Auxiliary, liked square dancing. She was an election judge. At the time of her passing, 16 grandkids, 21 great-grandkids, and of course she was the mother of Tony Bell, well known to the Illinois racing community, and the grandmother of both Katie Bell and Kelly Avenatti.
Come on, Lisa.
There's the winner of the Rita Sear Memorial. Here's Goomster, career win number 33. There's the owner-trainer, Dennis Gardner, at the head of this horse. Dennis makes his home in Edwards County at West Salem. They're scheduled to go racing Thursday at 12 noon at the Edwards County Fair. It'll be the first time they raced there in some 11 years, so great to have them back on the schedule. Mr. J.D. Finn, been great to have him back on the fair circuit in Illinois. Been a while since we've seen him, and J.D. out of Newton, Illinois. Here's the full field rundown for that fourth race. From the top, Lose Avalon was scratched. Lose My Number was scratched. Goomster, the winner. Dooleyville Lou was third. Tank Me to Dennyland, the runner-up. Lou Beduino scratched, and Frontier Maynard scratched. 29 at the quarter, 59 and 2 at the half. 3/4, 1:30. The time for the mile, 2 minutes and 4/5 of a second. It reads down, scratch, scratch, 1, 3, 2, scratch, scratch. Always have folks wondering in a case like that. We told you that J.D. is Jared Finn's father. So you had J.D., you had his son Jared, and Harold Finn Jr., I'm guessing he would be a cousin? Yeah. It's amazing. The number of, I think we looked up one time, there have been something like 50 members of the Finn family extended that at one time or another have driven in harness races since the end of World War II to the present on the Illinois County Fair circuit. Simply remarkable. Strong roots for that family in Cumberland County and Jasper County as well. Race 5 is on the way. Right now, we're going to go back to Wyatt Austin. I bet he's ready to pick a winner.
David, I want to thank our sponsors that are out there for being here tonight. And again, a nice race that point. Just a 3-horse race, so not many mistakes on people picking that time. By the time you got everybody out, everybody trifected, right?
Yeah, we all had to try. Because we all had to use the same 3 horses because of the scratches. So the way things worked out with no one had picked Dooleyville to be in the top 3. So when everyone scratched or used, we had to put him up. So everyone got 87 points, yeah.
Yeah. And so the rain has
subsided a little bit.
Kind of subsided here. Still overcast, but boy, it's sticky now.
Oh, yeah, it's going to happen. It feels like it's just humidity. We can cut the air with a knife, right?
Absolutely. And older people I know this time of year, I've got some friends that it's tough for them to get out when it gets this humid to even play golf of an evening or even in the morning because the air is so thick. So, folks, stay safe in this hot weather. I put out a note. You know, if anybody thinks the sound is not good, I've got Kurt probably as good as we can do as far as not over-modulating out the mains. But we seem to be doing okay on everything else tonight as far as that's concerned. Do not have the car cam tonight because we knew that there was some rain in the forecast.
For sure.
Decided not to put the equipment out here. But if you've never been to the Coles County Fair, 2 opportunities left for you to watch racing on Wednesday, 5:30 race time again, and then Friday noon. Shoot up to Champaign tomorrow. Got some good racing going on in Champaign. Do we have a celebrity race tomorrow?
I don't believe so, but unless you want to count the new track man up there, Lane Avenatti is a celebrity, but nothing like we did a couple years ago. I know they had 3 or 4 celebrities come out. Was it the local fire chief, a local news anchor, and who was the third one? Oh, a coach or something, a local high school coach or something.
Yeah.
And then 2 years ago, we had Coach O from the University of Illinois do some announcing, announce the horse race at Urbana. So always exciting up there in Champaign County.
And Wednesday night here, retirement of a horse, kind of a party going back in the barn with a retirement of a horse and a mid birthday. Somebody who has like me got a birthday in December, January. Daughter of one of the helpers.
Yeah, Lou's Raptors is calling it quits. He's hanging up his shoes. He's deserved his retirement. He's going to go be a pasture pony now with his new new ownership and be loved on by a little girl. So
unless he starts chasing deer, right?
Right. Oh, she'll put him to work. She'll make him a saddle horse or something and put him in parades or whatnot. Maybe a good outrider horse or something. But either way, good to see that horse, get his farewell and his send off, the flowers that he's earned over a long, successful career for all his connections.
And it's really funny, David, when you watch, we talk about, Lisa used to talk in nursing about making connections, and the connections that you make that you don't realize when you talk to people that you're connected. Lisa sent you a picture last week that Doc Flacco's daughter was an intern.
Dr. Valerie Nesserod was Dr. Valerie Flacco back in 1990, what do we say, 2 or 4 or something?
Something like that in Quincy, Illinois at Blessing, St. Mary's.
Over by our neck of the woods. And not only was she...
She's Real is going to be driven by Jordan Patton now.
Not only was she over in our neck of the woods, but she happened to meet her husband. He was a resident there in St. Mary's as well, and Lisa remembered them dating at the time. So kind of cool to see those connections come full circle.
Well, yeah, when you get to know people, and I don't know if you do that on Facebook, you're looking at a post, and somebody who you've known posts on somebody that you don't, they don't, in your mind, they're not even in the same world.
Yeah.
And so just really good things when you get out and you start connecting people and talking with people. I give you an example. My sewer guy came this last week. I had the unfortunate I have to pay for new sewer tanks.
No, that's no fun.
And the sewer guy said, "Do you know Bill Fargo?" And Bill Fargo was in banking in Brown County. Was this guy's banker over in Girard and Verdon before Bill moved to Brown County? Yeah.
Yeah, Bill's been in the county for 10 years now or more, hasn't he?
Yeah. So, I mean, look at those connections. You notice that? I'll give you one in harness racing. What was it? Last year, Lisa and I looked down, and the Buzzards were owners of a horse, and I worked with their daughter at Cell 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so your worlds collide. If you're just out in the world enjoying and soaking it in, you will see lots of different places that worlds collide.
And that's kind of the secret to life, isn't it? Is to figure out where those connections are made and where you can kind of, share something with somebody, and it's a jumping off point for conversation or whatnot. But either way, it's good to see how those worlds overlap and where everyone kind of, has those similar interests. We all kind of care about something. We all love something as somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You can pick anybody in the world, and me and them will find something in common. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and you can be polar opposites of somebody, but there is some common ground.
Always
someplace. And I remember a story years ago. Rick Warren, the starter of Saddleback Church out in California, he was taking a lot of hits because President Obama was coming out, and they were doing a symposium on hunger. And people were saying, Rick, you and President Obama don't agree on anything. And he says, yes, we do. On hunger, we agree upon. And that's what this summit's about, is feeding the hungry. And we both can agree upon that. And that's something we're missing in this world today, is finding those things that we can agree upon and starting those friendships with. And so we're ready to go here.
Owned by Clark and Kay and Liz Fairley of Lerna, Charleston, and Lerna, the driver and trainer, Clark Fairley. Number 5, I Understand, owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur. Kevin's the trainer. The driver is Wyatt Avenetti. Number 6, Ava Sholem is owned by Ira Steinberg of Arlington Heights, trained and driven by Jared Finn. And number 7, Rock On Big Star, owned by Jerry Blunt of Clinton, Mississippi. The trainer is Cole Prather, and the driver is Connor Prather. Field of 7 lined up, ready to go. We score 5 wide, so post positions 1 through 5 in the front tier with their noses right up on the gate. Post 6 and 7 start from the second tier. Here they come now. Race 5, brought to you by our friends at the Corn Belt Shrine Club. They are off and pacing. There goes I Understand, and Wyatt Avenatti wants him to get the lead, and he wants it now. Wyatt Avenatti gave the shaft of the race bike a light tap of the whip right at the start, and he sent the signal to I Understand, we need to get that lead, and we need to clear this inside traffic. So after starting in the number 5 position, he started way out on the grandstand side. He's the leader. He has cleared the traffic, and I Understand is on top by a length. Major Pete will go second by just over 2 lengths. She's Real is third, a length and a half. Rogers Image is racing in 4th. Dash Around is in 5th. Rock on Big Star 6th. 28-1 for the quarter, 28-1 fifth, then a gap of 8 more lengths back to Ava Sholem, who had an awkward move around the first turn and now is trying to make up ground on those other 6 horses. After 3/8 of a mile, I Understand he is 2 for 2 in his career at the Coles County Fair, trying to go 3 for 3. Wyatt Avenatti in the race bike looks over his shoulder, and he keeps an eye on Major Pete in 2nd. She's Real in 3rd. Here comes Rock On Big Star, 4th, moving from the back of the pack, 5 lengths from the lead, a minute and a 5th. 59-1. 59-1. Good, quick pace. They go toward the 3/4. 59 1/5 seconds. I Understand is opening up on the lead after 5/8 of a mile. He's gotten away by 5 lengths, and the reason Wyatt Avenatti pulled to the trigger and started to move a little quicker is because he knew Rock On Big Star was starting to close some ground and was starting to move into contention. So Wyatt now looks over his shoulder again, and he sees a widening 10-length lead, and this race is over. I Understand is well on the way to victory. Off the 3/4, 127-2. It is I Understand. This will be career win number 36 for this pacer, and he maintains a perfect record at the Coles County Fair. 3 starts, 3 wins on this track. I Understand much the best. He won it by a dozen lengths. It was a good race behind him. It's a multiple horse photo for second. Ava Sholem made up all kinds of ground to be part of that photo, along with Rogers Image and Dash Around. Again, that will be a 3-way photo for runner-up. Our photo technician is Jessica Bruner of Casey. She will sort through it for us in just a moment.
David, you don't get any tighter racing than that right there.
Nope. I'm trying to get the results over here.
Time for the mile, 1:57 flat. Time for the mile, 1 minute 57 flat. That ties Conager for the fastest mile so far on the card. Horsemen, you may come to the track for race 6. 6th race, come to the track, please.
Well, just a great race there overall. As second place was the one that 3 horses were going for, and I had it 5-4-6-2. I don't know what you had over there, David.
5-6-7.
5-6-7. Okay.
Same as Brady.
Oh, okay. All right. So we'll see what happens with the official tail of the tape here. As I Understand comes forward here.
Well, the folks from the Corn Belt Shrine Club are ready to present their blanket, and they get to present to a horse that has won a lot of races, and he loves this racetrack at the Coles County Fair. How about a hand for I Understand?
There you go. Said to refeed it.
Visit cornbeltshriners.com online. They've got the Jeep Run coming up. They've got a raffle coming up. The Oyster and Beer Festival is just around the corner as well.
Clever.
Probably saw them at the recent 4th of July parades, and Mattoon and Sullivan, thank you to the Corn Belt Shrine Club for all the great work you do. And how about Wyatt Avenatti? Folks, 24 hours ago, right at this very time of day, he was winning a $50,000 race in Kentucky. Wyatt, congratulations on a big win. Yeah, he went down to the Red Mile in Lexington. The Kentucky Fair Finals go for $50,000 each. Their racing program is simply incredible. And Wyatt teamed up with trainer Phil Knox, and picked up a win in a 2-year-old colt trot championship exactly 24 hours ago, and took home the lion's share of that $50,000 purse. We talked to Wyatt's dad, Dave, earlier today, and we said, you know, he's won a $50,000 race. Is he still going to show up and race with us on the fair circuit? And Dave said absolutely. He said he loves the fairs. He said Wyatt loves any chance to race. And boy, that's for sure. And I know that Wyatt's heart, along with his brothers and his dad and the family, Avanetti family, their heart very close to this Illinois Fair Circuit. Well, here's the full field rundown for race 5. She's Real finished 6. Rogers Image was 4. Major Pete was 7. Dash Around was the runner-up in that photo. I Understand was the winner. Ava Sholem was 3rd with a huge effort. And Rock On Big Star finished 5. The quarter, 28-1. The half, 59-1. 3 quarters, 127-2, and the mile in 157 flat. Reads down 647-213-5. That brings us to race 6. A reminder, number 1, Rock of Angels, the driver Freddie Patton Jr. Freddie Patton Jr. drives the 1. And just to wrap up race 5, the winning pacer, a 5-year-old gelded son of Hypnotic Blue Chip out of the Go By Girl by Feelin' Frisky, bred by Kyle and Amy Houston, who based their own stable at Hoosier Park in Anderson, Indiana. Race 6 on the way. Let's go back to Wyatt.
Good, solid racing that race. Fun race to watch, David, even though you've got I Understand out there with a big lead, and you know that's a great horse and a great tradition that horse is starting.
And with Wyatt getting the front end like that, he knew this. He knew when the competition was stacked up the backstretch that he could skate away from him and kind of go ahead and steal one, and he sure did. He jumped out to a nice lead, and you know from then they were all just trying to fight and get around each other, and kind of left himself up there to do his own bidding and made it a nice, comfortable win. What do we say? That was 57 flat. That's a good mile. Good mile.
Well, and let's talk about that a little bit. That notice that opportunity. Got your horse out front. Now you can let your horse pace with what those other horses are pacing. You don't have to continue that rate, and they have to speed up to catch up with you.
And you have an idea of when they're coming and how hard they're coming. You don't get caught off guard very much because you kind of got that buffer zone. Absolutely.
Yeah, in fact, as short as this turn is, we call this a Talladega of harness racing track because it's got that pear-shaped
well, the fourth turn is just kind of cut off the corner of it. The railroad tracks run across the street over there, and they couldn't build the fairgrounds the way they wanted to, so it kind of cut the last corner off. When you watch them turning for home, you can definitely tell, too.
Teardrop out there, and, yep.
Kurt might be coming up pretty soon, too.
Okay, I'll bring him up in our headset.
Sometime between races, we need to get the we did do another round of the AI horses, so if you are following along, we'll get to those next race maybe. We've got a horse name that we fed into an AI generator to create an image, and we want you to guess what horse it is. I'll give you a couple clues.
Jason Detweiler just went by the stands a moment ago driving number 2 Double Parked. Jason picked up his first career driving victory a couple of weeks ago at the Menard County Fair at Petersburg. Jason in his first year as a harness driver. Of course, his brother is Marcus Detweiler, the trainer of number 2 Double Parked. Cassidy Witten, native of Edwards County, grew up in a harness racing family. Her grandfather and grandmother both trained and drove horses. Some of you might remember the late Pat and Verna Malloy. They won a lot of races, not only on the Illinois Fair Circuit, but at tracks like Fairmount Park in Collinsville, the old Audubon Raceway in Henderson, Kentucky. Cassidy's father, Pat Malloy Jr., then became a horseman, and Cassidy herself, a very talented and accomplished horsewoman, and she's got Anne's Marina Del Rey here ready to go. A reminder, the defending champion in the battle for leading trainer here at the Coles County Fair is Jill Brown. Jill, based right here at the Coles County Fairgrounds. She took the title last year. So far this evening, through the first 5 races, Kevin Miller leads with 9 points. Clark Fairley and Dennis Gardner tied with 8 points apiece. $250 is the award that goes to the leading trainer of the meet. 5 points for a win, 3 for second, 1 for a third place finish. Again, this is the 8th year for the award. Last year,
I just
Jill
flipped it over and
Brown had
realized this is
15
probably
starters
colder.
with 6 wins and 3 runner-up finishes for 39 points. Race 6, second division of the open pace. Blanket sponsor Mac Moore Shoes. A reminder, Freddie Patton Jr. will be the driver of number 1 Rock of Angels. Let's go ahead and meet the starters. They will gather up on the backstretch near the starting gate in a moment. Number 1 Rock of Angels, owned and trained by Jacob Radel of Edgewood. Freddie Patton Jr. is in the bike. 2 Double Parked is owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur, trained by Marcus Detweiler. Jason Detweiler is the driver. 3 Frontier Fantasy, owned by Linda Allhands of Monticello, trained by Jamaica Patton. The driver is Mike Cox. Number 4, Bing Bing Bing, owned by Phil and Sherry Cotton of Fairfield, trained by Phil Cotton. The driver, Matt Avenetti. Number 5, Ann's Marina Del Rey, owned, trained, and driven by Cassidy Witten, originally of West Salem, now of Martinsville. And number 6, Life Turns. Speaking of trainer Jill Brown, Life Turns is trained by Jill, owned by Deb DeRoos of Charleston, Olivia Thaley of Charleston, and owned also by Jill Brown herself of Charleston. The driver is Jordan Patton, and Life Turns comes in with back-to-back victories, one of them at the Paramutuals in Kentucky and the other a week ago tonight at the Edgar County Fair at Paris. A reminder, Life Turns will start from the second tier. However, given that Jordan Patton is the only driver in the second tier, when you're the only horse and driver in that second tier, you've got a little more leeway to decide where you want to line up. You have to stay in the second tier. But Jordan, it's up to him to decide who he wants to follow. He can follow any one of the horses 1 through 5. That is his call, because when you're the only driver in the second tier, you at least get that level of leeway where you do have some room to decide which lane you want to pick. But again, you must start from the second tier. So even if a horse in the front tier breaks stride at the top of the stretch coming down for the start and a spot opens up, doesn't matter. As the saying goes, once in the second tier, always in the second tier. Right now, at the post, gates rolling, the Mac Moore Shoes race. Very accomplished field of pacers, as one usually finds in an open pace. Veteran, older racehorses with a lot of credentials. Here they come. Race 6. Off and pacing they go. There goes Rock of Angels for the early lead. And also Bing 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 from the far outside. Double Parked has some speed right between horses. Frontier Fantasy, then Life Turns, who's trying to move up along the inside lane. And Life Turns will do that. Picks up a couple of positions, moves all the way up to 4th and challenges for 3rd as they move off the first turn. Frontier Fantasy had to take back from that battle up front. Got rough-gated off the first turn heading onto the backstretch. Ann's Marina Del Rey got out of traffic in good order, a close 5th, but then there's a gap of 20 more lengths back to Frontier Fantasy. 28 and 3 for the opening quarter, 28 and 3 fifth seconds. In the meantime, Double Parked has made the top, and Double Parked leads Bing 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 by a length after 3/8 of a mile. Rock of Angels is 3rd down toward the inside. Life Turns is now moving up with cover in the outer lane in 4th position, just 2 lengths or so off the lead. Here comes Ann's Marina Del Rey moving from 5th, trying to move up around the outside of Rock of Angels, who gets shuffled back along the inside lane and still 20 more lengths back to the trailer Frontier Fantasy. 58 seconds for the first half mile, 58 seconds. It is Bing, 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 who has gotten right alongside of Double Park. They're matching strides all the way around the east turn, contesting the lead. Life Turns is looking to come 3 wide at the midpoint of the backstretch, and here comes Life Turns right now. Life Turns, trains right here at the Coles County Fairgrounds, has the lead, but watch out for Anne's Marina Del Rey because she's gearing up as well. She's gone from 5th to 4th to 3rd to 2nd, off 3/4 and 1:28, but Life Turns has given this field the slip. Life Turns a 4-5 length lead. Anne's Marina Del Rey left in the wake of Life Turns with driver Jordan Patton starting from the 2nd tier. A patient drive, a 3-wide move on the backstretch. It all comes together for a victory in the Mackmore Shoes race. There's Life Turns, and Jordan Patton winning it by 5 lengths on the line. Anne's Marina Del Rey was 2nd by 2. Rock of Angels 3rd by 5. Bing 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 was 4th. A dozen lengths more back to Double Parked in 5th, and over 20 lengths more back to Frontier Fantasy, who crosses the wire 6th. We'll check the time for the mile in just a moment. This race, the Mackmore Shoes race. Mackmore Shoes, talk about history. This sponsor is a natural for the oldest continuous Illinois County Fair here at Coles County. The fair dates to 1854. Mackmore Shoes dates to the 19th century as well, since 1890. Visit them on Facebook. Time for the mile, 1:58 and 2. 1 minute, 58 and 2/5 seconds. We'll meet the winner in a moment. Horsemen, come to the track, please, with race 7.
Good solid race there, driven by Jordan Patton on the Life Turns, as Life Turns makes it, what, 3 in a row? At least, if not 4. I don't know if there's a record missing there, but 3 in a row for sure for that horse.
I want to give a quick shout out to that horse. Last night went out to the Charleston Speedway at the stock car event and carried the red, white, and blue, the flag for the national anthem. So represented the horse racing community and welcomed all the fans to come out to the horse racing tonight. So really cool, thing to see from the connections, the stable, the owners, and an animal that's behaving himself in front of stock car fans. So cool to see him, get a win for the connections here at the home track.
Here a year ago, as she gives the crowd a nice wave. From right here in Charleston, based at the Coles County Fairgrounds. There she is, your winning trainer and co-owner at the head of this horse. There's Jill Brown. Life Turns has won 3 in a row, the last 2 coming with Jordan Patton in the race bike, the 28-year-old native of Mississippi. Congratulations to Deb DeRoos, Olivia Thaley, and Jill Brown, all of Charleston, and all Coles County connected pacer. This Illinois-bred Life Turns, a 4-year-old, a gelded son of C'est La Vie. 13th career victory, 1:58 and 2 the time for the mile here this evening. And again, the Mackmore Shoes blanket. Visit them on Facebook. They'll have posts about all their latest specials. Men's shoes, women's shoes, running shoes, dress shoes, sandals, Birkenstock, you name it. There's Life Turns. Congratulations to our winning connections. Jill Brown now has 8 points, and that moves her into a 3-way tie for second. In the trainer standings, she is just 1 point behind our leader, Kevin Miller, who's got 9 points very early on in that battle for leading trainer of the 2026 Coles County Fair. One quick note, young Olivia Thaley, I believe it's the first year that she has owned a racehorse. And that's got to be fun as a new owner in the game to win at your home fair in Coles County. So a special note of congratulations to Olivia. Well done.
Yeah, Matt did.
Here's the full field rundown for that 6th race. Rock of Angels, 3. Double Parked finished 5. Frontier Fantasy, 6. Bing 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 finished 4. Anne's Marina Del Rey, 2. And Life Turns, the winner. The quarter, 28 and 3. The half in 58 seconds. 3/4 in 1:28 flat. The time for the mile, 1 minute 58 and 2/5 seconds. Reads down 3:56, 4:21. The 7th race is on the way. Great to have you with us on a Monday evening. In this upcoming 7th race, a reminder, the driver of the 5 Skunkalicious, Clark Fairley. Clark Fairley drives the 5 Skunkalicious. The owner is now William Larry Binkley from right here in Charleston. Sturdy Built Buildings, the blanket sponsor for race 7, and they are also our primary sponsor tonight for Pick a Winner. We appreciate their support of racing here at the Coles County Fair. Let's go back to Wyatt Austin.
Avenatti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenatti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avenattiracing@gmail.com today. Avenatti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Kerr Auction is your trusted source for ag equipment, attachments, construction gear, trucks, trailers, and hard-to-find parts. With live and online auctions at kerrauction.com, you can bid from anywhere, field, job site, or front porch. From big equipment to small parts, if you need it, Kerr Auction has it. Don't miss your next deal. Check out kerrauction.com today. Kerr Auction, built for the working world.
Why pay more for the same groceries? Your favorite brands at prices you'll love. Right here in Mattoon. Family owned and proud to serve our community. Proud supporters of local harness racing and the Coles County Fair. Stop in and save today. B&D Grocery in Mattoon.
Experience matters. At Simmons Stable, Illinois Hall of Fame trainer Tom Simmons, along with wife Benita, has built a legacy of developing and racing championship standardbreds. From yearling to winner's circle, every horse is guided with experience, expertise, and care. Simmons Stable, 217-801-4246.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Long before the crowds arrive, the work is already underway. Track after track. Kevin Miller's stable campaigns winning standardbreds across the Midwest.
For race 7, first division of the maiden pace, a maiden classified as a non-winner of a purse race. And this is the Sturdy Built Buildings race. You can visit them at sturdy-builtbuildings.com. They are our primary sponsor tonight for Pick a Winner, as they have teamed up along with folks like our friends at DeRue Starting Gates to help make Pick a Winner possible here this evening. And as you've heard Wyatt mention, $50 after each race and pick a winner tonight, courtesy of Sturdy Built Buildings, and a $100 draw at the end of the evening. Sturdy Built Buildings dates to 1961. They've got roots here in Charleston, now based in Sullivan. One of the great things about them, they can fast track the building process, especially for governmental organizations. They know how to cross all the T's and dot all the I's and get all the paperwork done in the proper order. They recently finished a storage shed for the University of Illinois rowing team, where they can store their boats, and it was neat to see the contract that they got. The U of I rowing team, always fun to follow their progress each year. Well, let's meet the starters for race 7. Magic in March is number 1, owned by Herman Wheeler out of Monroe, Louisiana, co-owned by trainer Jamaica Patton of Rochester, Illinois, the driver Mike Cox. Number 2, Elsie's Love, owned by Matt Avenatti of Chrisman, Doug Bowen of Mount Sterling, Troy Markert of Mount Sterling, trained and driven by Matt Avenatti. 3, GD Sandstorm, owned by Douglas Ramsey of Jackson, Mississippi, the trainer and driver Jared Finn. Number 4, Gothic Thunder, owned and trained by Larry Plank of Tuscola. Larry is in the bike. And number 5, Skunkalicious. Good to see the name of Larry Binkley back in the program. He is the owner and the trainer. The driver, contrary to the program, is Clark Fairley. Getting ready to go, race 7. Top of the stretch, here they come. Maiden pace, no restrictions as far as state bred status, but so far, every race tonight has been won by an Illinois conceived and foaled horse. So the Illinois bred's doing a good job defending the home turf. Here they come. Often pacing they go, and there goes Illinois bred Gothic Thunder with Illinois bred Larry Plank in the race bike. They go right to the front, opened up by 2 lengths into the first turn. Magic in March will go second by a length and a half. Elsie's Love is racing in the 3rd position. GD Sandstorm will move up in 4th, and Skunkalicious elects to drop out to the back of the pack, but right there with the other 4 in that 5th position. Up the backstretch they go. Gothic Thunder is your leader. Of course, everybody looking for a first career win, given that it is a maiden pace, and Gothic Thunder is on top by 2 lengths. Past the quarter, Magic in March is second by 2. Elsie's Love is third, a length and a half, and then GD Sandstorm is 4th by just over 2 lengths. Skunkalicious trails. 32-1 for the opening quarter, 32 1/5 seconds. Gothic Thunder is the leader. Gothic Thunder is on top and leads it by 2 lengths for Larry Plank as they come on down toward the half. You've still got Elsie's Love there on the outside, moving up once again into the 2nd spot, just outside of Magic and March, back toward the inside 3rd. GD Sandstorm moves up in the outer flow of traffic 4th, 2.5 lengths off the lead, and then a gap of a half dozen more back to Skunkalicious, who trails as they go on past the half-mile mark here in the Sturdy Built Buildings race. 106-1 for the first half mile, 106-1. SturdyBuiltBuildings.com for more information. Onto the backstretch. Gothic Thunder is your leader, and Gothic Thunder leads Elsie's Love by 3/4 of a length. GD Sandstorm starts looking for some racing room, now has to switch lanes to the far outside. Magic in March is still a length off the leader, tucked away right behind the leader. In fact, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th stacks up 3 wide across the track, 2 lengths now from leader and pace setter Gothic Thunder as they swing around that final turn. Gothic Thunder leading Magic in March by 2.5 lengths, 3/4, 135-1. It is Gothic Thunder on top by 4 lengths into the stretch. Magic in March goes second. Another gap of 2 lengths then back to Elsie's Love in 3rd. A late charge from Magic in March trying to catch Gothic Thunder, but nothing doing. Gothic Thunder wins by a measured 2 lengths. It was Magic in March home second. Then it was a gap of nearly 4 lengths more to Elsie's Love in 3rd. Another 6 lengths back of that one to GD Sandstorm in 4th. And another dozen lengths or so back to Skunkalicious in 5th. 2:05 and 3. The time for the mile, 2:05 and 3/5 of a second. Number 4, Gothic Thunder with that first career victory. Race 8 is on the way. A reminder, scratch the 2, Premier Juliet. Pick a winner, players. Heads up. Scratch number 2, Premier Juliet, in the upcoming 8th race.
We've curd up, but you know, David, I'm gonna ask one thing of you for the rest of this year. You know what that is?
No idea.
Do not let Brady Schrock in to pick horses.
I think he's already in for Wednesday or something. So he's.
Yeah, look at him.
Oh, I know. He hit that 87 on that one where we all missed it. So that's going to separate us out a lot.
Yep, that makes a huge difference there when you can pick that larger horse, field racing there. The three horse races, usually end up with a scramble. But when you pick out the bigger fields and you do, a trifecta, that's huge.
When you put 67 points on everybody else in the field, that helps too. It jumps them out to a nice commanding lane at 451. It looks like my 359. Lisa's in third with 352, and Steve's at 304.
And you said I can't complain anymore about being
Illinois.
It is what it is.
Thunder keeps the string alive. Now all 7 races so far this evening have been won by Illinois conceived and foaled horses, owned, trained, and driven by Larry Plank out of Tuscola. How about a hand for number 4, Gothic Thunder? Gothic Thunder, a 3-year-old gelded son of Captain Trevor out of Gothic Lady by Abercrombie, bred by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, Illinois, of Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco and Rick and Tabby Flacco. There's the SturdyBuiltBuildings.com red blanket with the white lettering and trim. And again, we appreciate their support of racing here at the fair. Check out their Facebook page from time to time. They will post notices when they are hiring, and they offer some great positions there. So visit them on Facebook. Sturdy Built Buildings. Larry, congratulations. Well done. We mentioned earlier, when Larry's not busy racing horses, his full-time occupation, he is an auctioneer, and he most recently can be heard at auction houses in Sullivan, Illinois, and Rockville, Indiana. Here's the full field rundown. It's official for race 7. Magic in March was the runner-up. Elsie's Love finished 3rd. GD Sandstorm was 4th. Gothic Thunder was the winner, and Skunkalicious finished 5. The quarter, 32 and 1. The half and 106 and 1. 3 quarters, 135 and 1. The time for the mile, 2:05 and 3/5 of a second. Reads down 2:34.15. 8th race is on the way. Again, scratch the 2, Premier Juliet. Let's go back to Wyatt Austin. Time to play Pick a Winner.
Kev Miller Stable, 217-254-0170.
For over 40 years, horses have been our way of life. Built on experience, patience, and care. From sale preparation to rehabilitation, we are committed to helping horses reach their potential. Brenneman Equine, a tradition of horsemanship. Call Lamar or Ronnie today.
Real craftsmanship still exists at Yoder's Custom Woodworking and Amish Furniture. From custom kitchens and built-ins to handcrafted furniture, outdoor poly, and more. Family owned and trusted since 1995. Visit Yoder's in Sullivan or call 217-728-2166 today.
Avenatti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenatti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avenattiracing@gmail.com today. Avenatti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Kerr Auction is your trusted source for ag equipment, attachments, construction gear, trucks, trailers, trailers, and hard-to-find parts. With live and online auctions at kerauction.com, you can bid from anywhere, field, job site, or front porch. From big equipment to small parts. If you need it, Kerr Auction has it. Don't miss your next deal. Check out kerauction.com today. Kerr Auction, built for the working world.
Why pay more for the same groceries? Your favorite brands at prices you'll love. Right here in Mattoon. Family owned and proud to serve our community. Proud supporters of local harness racing and the Coles County Fair. Stop in and save today. B&D Grocery in Mattoon.
All these options. So we have talked to people who have told us that, for example, they are entered maybe both for the Illini Stakes here on Wednesday evening as well as at Albion. Albion, Edwards County, their Sunday program got rain postponed until Thursday. So now, and which absolutely you can do that. That gives the connections the right to decide which race they want to compete in. And we've talked to some horsemen already saying, I love the Coles County Fair. The only drawback is those Illini Stakes, those purses are so good. Those fields that's the deep end of the pool, folks. You're gonna have to bring your A game. And we've talked to at least one horseman who has said he will probably scratch here on Wednesday because his race at Edwards County has just one division. He said, we're going for about $5,000. And he said, I don't think that field is quite as deep as the one that I would have been facing at the Coles County Fair. So there are a lot of considerations going on over there in the barn area. Horsemen considering all of their options as we juggle and shake up the racing schedule after that rainout at Edwards County on Sunday, just yesterday evening. Horses are on the track for race 8, second division of the maiden pace. Blanket sponsor, DeRoos Starting Gate. Stacy DeRoos, our starter here this evening. Scratch the 2, Premier Juliet. Reason given is personal. Let's meet the starters. Number 1, Swiss Margarita, owned by Douglas Ramsey of Jackson, Mississippi, trained and driven by Jared Finn. 2 is Scratch 3, Dreamer Moose, is owned by Mike Davison of Annapolis, trained by Chad Cook and the driver Harold Finn Jr. And number 4, Uncle Phil, owned by Lester and Jason Detweiler of Sullivan, trained by Marcus Detweiler, and Marcus is in the bike. As these 3 pacers approach the starting gate over on the backstretch, you've got an Indiana bred from post 1, and then you've got a pair of Illinois breds from post 3 and post position 4. Getting ready to go here in race 8.
David will tell people to be ready in between the winner getting there at the normal talk time after this next race. We'll put that graphic up to see if they can figure out what the horse's name is.
If we don't get rushed out of here with these next couple races coming up, but yeah, we'll try to do that.
By the way, I've talked to a few horsemen that are bypassing the Effingham County Fair at Altamont, thinking there won't be as many horses at the Logan County Fair in Lincoln. I mean, the strategizing is in full swing about where these horses go next. Here they come, race 8. They are off and pacing. There goes Swiss Margarita out for the lead. Uncle Phil is right there on the outside. Dreamer Moose comes away a close third as they swing down into the first turn. And Swiss Margarita, first career start for that Indiana-sired filly. And she's got the lead early. She is a 3-year-old, but again making her career debut here this evening with Jared Finn and the race bike Swiss Margarita on top by a length and a half as they go on by the quarter. Dreamer Moose and then Uncle Phil at the back as these three go nose to tail past the quarter-mile mark and work their way up toward the west end of this historic half-mile track. Opening quarter was 31 and 2. 31 and 2/5 seconds. They make the bend around that west turn. Truly a unique design for this Coles County Fair racetrack. It is essentially a 3-turn half-mile track. You've got the east turn, you've got the west turn, and then you've got this bowed out front stretch with essentially what is a turn right in front of the grandstand when they reach the start-finish line. So coming down toward the half-mile mark, it is Swiss Margarita who is on top. Swiss Margarita shows the way, leads it by a length and a half. Dreamer Moose is second. Uncle Phil is still there in third position as they go on by the half. 104 and 2 for the first half mile, 104 and 2/5 of a second. So off the lower turn and up the backstretch they go. Swiss Margarita is your leader. It is Swiss Margarita on top, and she leads it by a length and a half, 2 lengths, now 2.5 lengths. Dreamer Moose is trying to keep up with her, but she's still in second, then a gap of 3 more lengths to Uncle Phil, who's still third. Now Dreamer Moose is beginning to close in on the leader as they hit the final turn. Swiss Margarita on top. 134 and 4 at the 3/4, 134 and 4. She still has the lead by 2 lengths to the top of the stretch. Dreamer Moose is giving it her all. She's still second. She's coming toward the outside, but there's a 1/16 of a mile to go. Swiss Margarita chased all the way by Dreamer Moose, but Swiss Margarita hangs tough and wins in her career debut. First start, first win. Swiss Margarita won it by 2.5 lengths. Dreamer Moose gave it a good effort, but came home second, and then a gap of another 15 lengths back to Uncle Phil in third. 2:04 flat, the time for the mile, 2:04 flat. We'll meet the winner. We'll play Pick a Winner. Horseman, you may come to the track for race 9. The wind continues to increase. The temperature drops a few more degrees. So, horsemen, if you would please come to the track. Race number 9. Again, the horsemen have done a great job here tonight, folks, getting these horses to the track in a timely, safe, and efficient fashion. As we said earlier, we're trying to stay ahead of any inclement weather that might be moving through the area. The radar has shown various pockets throughout the evening of storms and showers and such. With the exception of a brief shower after race 2, we've avoided the bulk of it. But we also have the darkness factor, as sunset will come here before long, and we do not have lights around this half-mile track. So, horsemen, your continued cooperation with the program is appreciated. Swiss Margarita is owned by Douglas Ramsey of Jackson, Mississippi. Was bred by Merle Schwartz of Indiana. Jared Finn of Newton, Illinois is the trainer-driver. The winning 3-year-old filly by Best in Show. This is the first time ever that this filly has seen a county fair, has seen fans in the grandstand, has seen a starting gate. All of this is brand new, and you know what, folks? She handled it just fine. How about a hand for your winner? Horsemen tell us all the time, it's one thing to train a horse, it's another to get them in race conditions. The sights, the sounds, the excitement. Some horses handle it better than others. But this filly appeared to handle everything just fine. Our thanks to DeRoos Starting Gates, based right here in Charleston. Stacy DeRoos is our official starter tonight. His son Aaron drives the starting gate. And our thanks to Stacy, Deb, and Aaron and the whole crew as they sponsor the blanket here in this 8th race. Folks, moving in now for the trackside photo. We mentioned the name of Jessica Bruner. She is not only our photo finish technician, but she is also our trackside winner's circle photographer. Smiles all around. Jessica will snap one more shot. And there's your winner, Swiss Margarita. Well done. Here's the full field rundown. It's official for that 8th race. Swiss Margarita the winner. Premier Juliet was scratched. Dreamer Moose was the runner-up. Uncle Phil was 3rd. The quarter, 31 and 2. The half, 104 and 2. 3/4, 134 and 4. In the mile and 2:04 flat, it reached down 1 scratch to 3. 9th race is on the way. No scratches in race 9. Let's go back to Wyatt Austin to play Pick a Winner.
Folks, I'll bring myself back up. We appreciate you tuning in. We are dealing with maybe a storm blowing in here, so Steve's taking some stuff to the car. We're going to stay on air as long as we can. If a storm blows up and our equipment gets at risk of being rained on, we might have to shut off the broadcast. I don't know if they'll restart races if something were to happen, so just stay tuned. We'll try to keep something on the screen notifying you what's going on and where we are. But as of right now, we're waiting on race 9 on the track and looking for the storm to go ahead and pass us by real quick. So we can look at the picks here while we have some time. Race 9, we have some driver changes on the 2. That'll make Jordan Patton driving that horse for the Jill Brown barn. And with J.D. Finn having 3 calls in this race, we had to do some changes. So on the 4-horse RK's Daddy Wags, make that Wyatt Avenatti. And on the 5 Trapper, that'll be his JD's son, Jared Finn, in the bike. So those are a couple of driver changes on the screen for you. Our picks are everyone in the race went with the 3 on top. Woodside Acres Dirt on his home track for local connections. Second choice was a little different. It looks like Brady and Lisa both went the 2-horse.
Driver changes in this upcoming 9th race. The Carl Steve Wagoner Memorial. The driver of the 2, Bills Ardou-Lou, Jordan Patton. Please note, the driver of the 2, Bills Ardou-Lou, will be Jordan Patton. Number 4, RK's Daddy Wags, make the driver Wyatt Avenatti. Number 4, RK's Daddy Wags, the driver Wyatt Avenatti, and the 5 Trapper, Jared Finn. Number 5 Trapper, the driver Jared Finn. A couple of folks here on the infield in the judges stand noting the name RK's Daddy Wags and noting that Stephen J. Wagoner of Arthur is one of the owners in that ownership group, and of course this race is named in memory and in honor of his father, Carl Steve Wagoner. So no doubt RK's Daddy Wags. We would have to think that the late Carl Steve Wagoner, his name came into play with the name of that horse as a tribute, and that 2-year-old is one of only 2 foals in that particular crop by the very accomplished sire Yankee Valor. Yankee Valor has sired a lot of nice horses. A lot of you might remember J.D. Finn actually raced a horse named Captain Greedy that was named Illinois Horse of the Year a few years ago by the same Yankee Valor. And again, only 2 2-year-olds in that crop, meaning foals of 2024 for Yankee Valor, and RK's Daddy Wags is one of them. Getting ready to go, race 9.
Okay, David, I'm going to throw this up there. People get ready. Tell us on this image.
What horse is this? We'll see. We'll give you some hints here. We'll throw the track side up. Your first hint is the horse has a lot of heart. If that doesn't help you, go ahead and put your best guess in the chat. We'll try to recognize whoever gets this horse first. Again, this is a horse's name that we've put into an AI image generator to try to come up with some sort of picture that makes you think of the horse's name. So give us your best guess in the chat. If you don't have chat hooked up, I'll try to keep my phone by my side to see if anyone's sending me a text in. But give us your best guess. This one should kind of be fresh in people's mind. Hopefully it's not too far off. We'll throw up our second hint here. I don't have anyone coming in. Second hint is Jody Bennett gets it. Here we go. Heart wasn't enough. Still needed some soul. In our third hint, Jody already gets it, but former Illinois Horse of the Year, making this horse, of course, you guessed it, this would be, if I can get to load over here, come on.
Essentially makes for a
1, 2, 3, come on.
right at the start-finish line. And what we found
Jody
was
is
when the
cash money 20
back in May of 1917.
We'll keep playing these over the next couple of days. I'll try to get some of these up, but I will just try to do one a race and not blow through them all, and keep you guys coming back for more. So tune in after. Well, I'd say this next race, but that's at the end of the card. So tune in tomorrow to see what other horses we have ready for you. Michael Williams already got it too. We appreciate everyone playing along. When Mike gets up here, I'll put his on the screen. There he is. So,
all right,
the
back to
apex
Kurt.
of this turn is right at the start-finish line before the track curves back down into that east turn. So that was the reason why they needed to lengthen the racetrack, and the opportunity, while the circumstance was regrettable, the opportunity in the aftermath of that 1917 tornado allowed them the chance to redesign the front stretch to make this track a true half-mile racetrack. And that is the reason for this unique design here at the Coles County Fair.
for those of you who didn't get my hints, maybe in the last one, Cash Money 20 is owned by Heart and Soul Racing of Iowa, of Ted and Sherry Bycroft. So the hints were hinting you towards the ownership group of that horse. Keep in mind those hints might be like that. They might be something about the horse's accomplishments. They might be just something to get you to say the name. We'll keep playing maybe tomorrow. We'll throw it back to Kurt for today's post parade of today's ninth race.
Headed to the starting gate, race 9, Maiden Trot, the Carl Steve Wagner Memorial for a purse of $1,150. Number 1 is Lily Jane, owned and trained and driven by J.D. Finn of Newton. 2 Bills or Dulu, owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown, the driver Jordan Patton. 3 Woodside Acres Dirk, owned by Lester and Jason Detweiler of Sullivan, trained and driven by Marcus Detweiler. 4 RK's Daddy Wags, owned by the MM&D Racing LLC of Charleston, Mike and Mitch Titus and Dennis Wright, owned also by Stephen J. Wagner of Arthur, trained by J.D. Finn, but the driver will be Wyatt Avenetti. And number 5 is Trapper, owned and trained by J.D. Finn. The driver will be Jared Finn for number 5. Trapper, the 9th of our 10 races, getting ready to head to the starting gate. And Indiana Bred was the winner in race 8 tonight, broke that string of 7 straight races won by Illinois Breds. Of course, the first 3 were restricted to Illinois Breds, but then races 4, 5, 6, and 7, open company, all of those races taken by Illinois conceived and foaled horses, but an Indiana sired performer snuck on by to win race 8. We'll see what happens here. You've got an Indiana bred from post 1, you've got Illinois breds from post 2, 3, and 4, and a New Jersey bred from post 5. Gates rolling. Steve Surratt stepped over to say hello a minute ago, took a break from his broadcast duties with Harness Tube. He said, with the 3 turns, he said, it's almost like the Coles County Fair has a tri-oval here in the front stretch. He said, it kind of makes one think of Talladega when you think of motorsports. Someone else said maybe Pocono Raceway, the tricky triangle. One of the reasons we love racing on this track, it poses a unique challenge to these horses and drivers alike. Here they come. They are off and trotting. There goes Bills Are Due Lou right out for the early lead. Woodside Acres Dirk comes away second, but nobody went with Bills Are Due Lou. So he not only got the lead, but he's able to control the tempo. She is, I should say, as they move around the first turn and race toward the quarter-mile mark. Bills Are Due Lou is the leader after the opening eighth of a mile. Up the backstretch they go. Jordan Patton noticed nobody else had any speed leaving the gate and alertly said, if nobody else wants the lead, I'll take it. And Bills Are Due Lou, that 3-year-old filly, leads by 3 lengths. Lily Jane had made it to the second position, but now she broke stride and begins dropping out toward the back of the pack. Woodside Acres Dirk moves up second, 4 lengths off the lead. 31-2 for the opening quarter, 31-2. So let's reset the front of the field. Bills Are Due Lou, a 5-length lead now. Woodside Acres Dirk goes in second. Trapper takes to the outside from third, and then a gap of 10 more lengths back to Lily Jane after that break. She's side by side with RK's Daddy Wags, contesting the 4th position with just over a half mile to go here in the Carl Steve Wagoner Memorial. It is Bills Are Due Lou with the lead. Leads it by 2.5 lengths. Woodside Acres Dirk is second by a length. And then comes Trapper racing in third. Lily Jane moving back into contention. She's trotting well. 104-1 for the half. 104-1. Lily Jane still 8 lengths off the lead, but she is closing ground from that 4th spot. And RK's Daddy Wags trails as the field exits the lower turn and once again moves up the back stretch. Bills Are Due Lou has the lead. The lead was 5 lengths. Now it's down to 3. Here comes Woodside Acres Dirk closing ground for Marcus Detweiler with every stride. Trapper is in contention. Oh, Lily Jane broke stride again. She was starting to close ground, but she, after that break now, is hopelessly out of it. 1:35 the time at the 3/4. 1:35. Here comes Trapper. Trapper is the horse moving fast on the grandstand side, but Bills Are Due Lou is still the leader. Here comes Trapper with a final try. The wire is coming. Trapper is coming after Bills Are Due Lou, and Trapper has a narrow lead in deep stretch. It is Trapper getting up to win it. Trapper won it by a length on the line with a breathtaking move down the stretch. Bills Are Due Lou was second. It was a 5-length gap then back to Woodside Acres Dirk in third. Another 8 lengths back to RK's Daddy Wags in fourth. And after breaking stride just before the 3/4, Lily Jane will come home in fifth. 2:07 the time for the mile, 2:07 3/5. Mr. Ron Fairley, Mr. Mark Kingery, our official timers this evening. Gentlemen, thank you both. We'll meet the winner in a moment. We'll have the Steve Wagoner Memorial Blanket presentation. The 10th and final race, horsemen, you may come to the track. Heads up, pick-a-winner players, scratch number 1, 4 paws. Heads up, pick-a-winner players, scratch number 1, 4 paws.
David, we'll take care of some housekeeping things because we'll do quick exit when we finish up and get it official in race 10 here. But again, you can support us by commercial advertising, and we can make that commercial up for you. A sponsorship, which gets you basically business card or a display kind of ad, or donations, and you can have your name on the donation or not, or like we had someone else do a sponsorship that is a memorial to someone else from racing, and so we encourage you to do those things. You can contact us a lot of different ways to do that. Email at harnesstube@gmail.com. Go to the website. It shows you where you can contact us there at harnesstube.com. Profiles there, driver standings, all kinds of things.
For 3 more points.
And so then Harness Tube on Facebook, or text message David 312-772-5122. We'd love to see pictures and stuff from people, even if we get them up late. But you know, from the backstretch, send us something. We'd love to have you do that. And then finally, again, promote your business with that. But again, we're going to let you know, lastly, where you'll see us at. Urbana tomorrow. Post time is 5 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be on the air about 4:30. Back to Charleston.
Raced with great success. Had a lot of wins at Balmoral Park in Chicago. Pantherwood is a name that comes to mind. Brilliant Thunder. Darling Star. On and on the list goes. Surcharge. We remember Steve Wagoner. And here's the winner. Number 5, Trapper. How about a hand for the winner? This is a New Jersey sired 2-year-old colt from the final crop by Bar Hopping. This was a $7,000 yearling at the Lexington selected sale. in Kentucky. First career win, 207 and 3/5. Congratulations to Jared Finn. Made a nice move off the turn. He gives us a nice wave, and he gets set to take Trapper back to the stable area. 9 races in the books. 9 faces. We have yet to have a repeat winning trainer. We've yet to have a repeat winning driver. This has been a competitive card. Here's the full field rundown. Lily Jane finished 5. Bill's Ardu Lou, the runner-up. Woodside Acres Dirk was 3rd. RK's Daddy Wags was 4th, and Trapper was the winner. 31 and 2 for the quarter, 104 and 1 for the half, 3/4 and 135, and the time for the mile 207 and 3/5 of a second. Reads down 5:23.41. 10th and final race is on the way. Again, scratch number 1 for Paws. Let's go back to Wyatt Austin for.
Okay, David, right now we'll head back to our cleanup things here we need to do. Again, check us out this week. Urbana, Charleston, Wednesday, Friday, then Lincoln on Sunday, then Altamont Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, with Marshall thrown in on Wednesday evening. So
yes, at 6 o'clock on Marshall sounds right.
We're 2-timing that, then back to Brown County for that fair on a Saturday, Sunday card, and just that'll be the end of the year for us. And we know there's some racetracks we have not been to, county fairs we haven't been to. Everybody will eventually end up on the schedules. We pull some off and some on. And again, why don't you do them all? Physically can't do it. Luce and I physically can't do it all. David doesn't have enough vacation time to do it all, and vacation time and time with his kids. And so all those are important things. We want to enjoy doing it. And when you get too much of it, it becomes a job.
Well, hopefully we can get some people trained up. We've been talking to some folks to get them on the microphone, working some of the graphics stuff. Next year, maybe we can split up. We don't have to always be together. We can send you and I, or you and someone else one place, 1 week maybe, and I'll have a week off or whatnot. But we'll try to get as much coverage as we can. But you're right, just limitations happen.
Hey, absolutely do, but we try to do as much as we possibly can with that. We're thankful for all those things as we get ready to go for this. And again, we'll finish up here. No camera card tonight because it's been rain on and off, and so we chose to opt out of that. Hopefully we'll have that back for you tomorrow night, depending on the circumstances. Each track is different in the ability to be able to have that car follow them with the field. 11 races on the card tomorrow, 10 races on the card on Wednesday. We haven't received Fridays yet or
Not
Sundays.
Yet.
So,
but looking at the points for today, it looks like no matter about what happens, I think Brady, let's see here. Brady should be carrying away with this one. He's up 99 points going in the last race. There's no way mathematically to be caught. So, yeah, Brady's the picking champion right now, it sounds like. And from what I hear from Ridoff telling on Brady, that down at Red and Mile this weekend, that Brady was doing pretty good picking down there at Lexington too. So we might have to take Brady to the track and let him do some picking for us.
I'm going to have him pick mine. And
next time.
Even when he doesn't pick, I'll kind of give him credit for it. I'll give him half of all my winnings.
Exactly right. What's half of zero?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we'll go back to our track announcer, but folks, join us tomorrow.
Thursday, an afternoon harness session on Friday at 12:30 p.m. The Demolition Derby is Friday night at 7. Professional bull riding Saturday at 7. And then on Sunday, Connor Family Amusements, they'll be operating from 1 until 5 p.m. Rides just $2 each on Sunday. Merchants Building is open at 11:30 each day. The Art Hall from 4 to 7 p.m. daily. For more information, visit the fair office here on the grounds or visit www.colescountyfair.net or visit the fair's Facebook page. Horsemen, if you would be so kind as to return your saddle pad numbers at the end of the program, we would appreciate that. There goes Clark Fairley in front of the grandstand with number 3, Fred Red Summer. That is a 2-year-old that he started off winning his first 4 races, but he's kind of been giving Clark a few fits here lately. You will notice in your track program, he has broken stride in each of his last 2 starts. They'll tell you what Clark has done differently this evening to try to correct that problem. Starters are out. Tenth and final race on this Monday card, the 2-year-old Open Pace, brought to you by Austin Grain Farms. Scratch the 1 for Paws, a purse of $1,120. Number 1 is Scratch. Number 2, Illinois-bred RK's Up in Smoke, owned by MM&D Racing of Mike and Mitch Titus and Dennis Wright of Charleston, owned also by Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi. And trained by Marcus Detweiler, J.D. Finn of the bike. Had to laugh because Jared Finn just sent me a text message and he said, hey, you were wrong. I've won the last 2 races. So, yes, you're absolutely right, Jared. We did get it corrected, but I don't blame you one bit. I would want credit for those wins also. Number 3 is Fred Red Summer, owned by Tegan Sage Racing of Jeff of T. Tetrick, owned also by Tyler T. Tetrick of Jeff, trained and driven by Clark Fairley. And 4, Late Night Show, owned, trained, and driven by Cassidy Witten of Martinsville. At the post, gate is rolling, so Clark Fairley made an equipment change on number 3, Fred Red Summer. He added a tie down to keep the horse's head in place. He said that what's been happening, that horse has been tossing his head, and when he starts throwing his head around, he gets off balance and he breaks stride. So Clark said, the first change I'm going to make is tonight, I'm going to add a tie down, which helps hold the horse's head in place so he won't be able, still gives him some leeway, but no longer able to throw that head as much as he had been. Hey, RK's Up in Smoke, locally based horse, huge performance, winning on debut at Carmi last week. Here they come, race 10, the Austin Grain Farms race. Off and pacing, they go in the nightcap. RK's Up in Smoke goes out for the lead. Fred Red Summer gets away in the second position, and Late Night Show is away in third as this field of 3 works down into the first turn and heads toward the backstretch. RK's Up in Smoke is your leader. RK's Up in Smoke has opened up here with a 2.5 length lead up the back straightaway. Fred Red Summer, so far so good for him, minding his manners as they go to the quarter-mile mark, and the first-time starter, the Indiana-bred Late Night Show, moves up a closer third. So this field of 2-year-old pacers goes on by the quarter-mile mark. RK's Up in Smoke is your leader. 30 4/5 of a second. 30 4/5. RK's Up in Smoke. Again, a lot of folks were talking about this colt when he won his first career start last week at the White County Fair in Carmi. He did it very professionally, as horsemen say. He looked like a mature, older horse with just the ability he showed and the way he handled circumstances. And so far, he's on top here, halfway home in this 10th and final race. Then you've got Fred Red Summer in second, and Late Night Show is third as they head back toward the east end of the course. 102-1 was the time. 102-1 the time for the first half mile. Over to the backstretch they go, 5/8 of a mile complete. RK's Up in Smoke, just waiting for a challenge. That Illinois-bred 2-year-old by Some Star Somewhere is your leader by 2 lengths as they head to the 3/4 mile mark. Fred Red Summer is second by just over 3 lengths, and Late Night Show trails a 1/4 mile to go in the 10th and final race on this Monday card. The Austin Grain Farms race works its way over around the final turn. 132-1 the time, 132-1. Fred Red Summer put in a couple of awkward steps. Clark tries to get him to settle down. Here comes Fred Red. He's chasing after RK's Up in Smoke, so a couple of locally based horses are going at it for the win. RK's Up in Smoke turns back the challenge. RK's Up in Smoke. Look at J.D. Finn. He's just sitting chilly in the race bike. J.D. never ever showed any worry or concern. He felt like that horse had things well in control, and he was proved correct. RK's Up in Smoke wins it by nearly 3 lengths on the line. Fred Red Summer, give that colt credit. The equipment change did the job because that horse, for the first time in a few weeks, he stayed on the pace the whole way, so I think Clark Fairley's got to be pleased with that, and Late Night Show was third. 2:02 flat, the time for the mile. 2:02 flat. We'll have the Austin Grain Farms presentation. There's the blanket right now being brought trackside. We'll meet the winner in just a moment.
All right, David, again, horses are something that are a puzzle that you got to get figured out sometimes.
That's absolutely right. Ooh, I don't want to give Marcus credit for this win. This is a J.D. Finn drive. Let me get this fixed for y'all.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Where is it, J.D.? Oh, he's up there. Dang underscores are making it hard for me.
And we'll have the winner's circle here in just a moment.
Getting it for you here. Well, if it's any consolation, we can say that even though Brady whipped us pretty substantially, he didn't get the last race right, and all three of us hit the trifecta. So
hey, that's good.
If nothing else, small wins.
We ended on a
high note, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I finished in last place again.
Updating the trainer standings.
You
as of the
did,
conclusion
yes.
Of day
I'm
one,
either first or last.
Jill Brown and Clark Fairley tied. Now with 11 points each, as Clark picked up 3 more points in that 10th race. So Jill Brown, the defending champion, tied with Clark Fairley, 11 points apiece. And then you've got Kevin Miller close behind with 9. He's in third. Several trainers tied for fourth with 8 points apiece. RK's Up in Smoke, owned by the MM&D Racing LLC of Charleston, Mike and Mitch Titus and Dennis Wright, owned also by Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi, bred by Rick Barbary of Carmi, Illinois, trained by Marcus Detweiler right here at the Coles County Fairgrounds, and a driving double for J.D. Finn tonight. How about a hand for the winner, RK's Up in Smoke? Our thanks once again to Chloe Hettinger, the newly crowned Miss Coles County Fair, Lyndon Traub, our junior miss, and Avriana Reyes, our little miss. Wonderful to have them with us for the presentations here tonight. Thank you, ladies, one and all. Austin Grain Farms, our thanks to Wyatt Austin and the gang, as the blanket is now presented down trackside. RK's Up in Smoke, 2 starts, 2 wins. And yeah, this pacer, a lot of horsemen, after that first start, said if the first start's any indication, this is a very talented, very precocious young horse that looks like he's got a future. One thing's for sure, he has won for our locally based connections, and congratulations to Dennis Wright, to Mike and Mitch, to Mr. Detweiler and Mr. Finn. Congratulations. And again, a driving double for both JD and Jared Finn tonight. And on the training side, 10 races, 10 different winning trainers. Here's the full field rundown. We've got pick a winner. We've got a $100 draw coming up. From the top of the page, Four Paws was scratched. RK's Up in Smoke was the winner. Fred Red Summer finished 2, and Late Night Show was 3. They got the quarter in 30 and 4/5. They got the half in 102 and 1 3/4, 132 and 1/5, and the time for the mile was 2:02 flat, and that is a new lifetime record for the young RK's Up in Smoke. It reads down, scratch 1, 2, 3. All right, somebody's about to be...
Well, from all of us here, everyone on the Coles County Fair Board, and everyone in the Harness Tube crew, Steve, Lisa, and all, we want to thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at Urbana, and we'll see you in the winter.